A2A style, is it possible Mike T going through the Belichick fall from grace? Was it the quarterback and not the coach? Not saying they're not good coaches, but saying QBs made them great.
I mean, if you call 9 wins last year and 7 wins this year, 2 years removed from the great quarterback, while firing the OC, while using multiple quarterbacks in those 2 years to fall from grace, sure. I just think that when you really break it down into that context, you are actually looking to be like, you know what? Maybe that actually isn't a fall from grace. Maybe that's just a reload. Maybe that's just tread water while we figure out this quarterback situation. Like 90% of the teams in the NFL have to do, right? Figure out the quarterback situation unless you got one of them Mahomes, one of them unicorn type dudes, right? Everybody's trying to win enough, to stay relevant enough, to stay close enough to compete, to get in the dance, to maybe get hot to go on a run until you get one of them dudes. I don't think that's a fall from grace personally, but that's why my perception a lot of times is very different than, obviously the chat when we start talking about this type of stuff because of my vision, my outlook on it. But it's also, I've experienced the other side of this equally as the success of being with the Steelers as well, man. So that's why I'm able to just see a little bit both ways with it. All right. So that's why I don't think that this is anywhere close to a fall from grace. I think this is literally a 2-year transition where you're trying to figure out the most important position along with the coordinator spot right now also, man.
Yeah, I mean, I think Belichick and Tomlin did benefit from having a couple of the greatest quarterbacks in history at the helm for the last couple of decades. But at the same
and which
time,
coach hasn't, right?
I don't think that means they're not good coaches. The 2 times Tomlin hasn't had Ben for pretty much the whole season was the Duck year. Duck and Mason went 8-8.
Yeah.
I'd lean that being a more positive for Tomlin, like to go through that season. What were we like 1-4 to start, and then you go Mason, Duck, get to 8-5.
Ben
Didn't finish
Ben
strong,
was
but
gone 6 quarters in the season.
yeah. Just to get it to 8-8, just to get it to where you're almost in the playoffs after the season looked hopeless after the first month. Thought that was impressive. Again, didn't finish strongly, but how much is that on Tomlin? Duck throwing those reckless picks against the Bills and the Jets, and then Mason getting hurt. I think if Mason stays healthy in that Jets game, we do make the playoffs. Yeah. But anyway, and then last year, the 9-8, the transition from Ben to Mitch, and then Mitch to Kenny, having no identity, finishing the season off strong. Unfortunately, Pickett got hurt in that Ravens game. I feel like if Pickett would have stayed healthy, I think we control our destiny for the playoffs. We almost still made the playoffs with that Jets-Dolphins game. The result didn't go the way we needed. But, yeah, those are the 2 times we've seen Tomlin without Ben, whereas with Belichick without Brady, it's been worse versus Tomlin. And I would still consider Belichick a good coach. Like, if the Patriots fire him, I think he should be up for a job around the league. I don't know what team would want him. I know Chargers have been talked about, Commanders. There's definitely other teams. Like, Belichick's still a good coach.
Yeah.
I don't think he's a good GM, though. I don't think he's picked the right offensive personnel. But yeah, I don't think them having great quarterbacks for most of their careers as coaches takes anything away from them from just being legit good coaches.
Yeah.
They benefited from it, but at the same time, I think they're still solid.
Today's show is brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. The top-rated sportsbooking app in North America. Not only is it safe, but it's secure and it is reliable. And that's what we absolutely love because we know this time of year, it's getting hot. It's getting heated up in terms of sports, right? We got basketball, we got football, we got hockey, we got everything cooking up right now. So you got a chance to get your parlay action. You got a chance to cook up with whatever you're looking to get into. But more importantly, if we're going to do it, might as well talk about the promo code that comes with it. Simple. You download that app, right? DraftKings Sportsbook. You making that first deposit, right? At least $5 on it. But you use that promo code MOATS and you'll receive up to $200 in free deposit bonus money. It's a great concept. You use that money to potentially make more money. You can't go wrong with that thing, baby. Promo code is MOATS. But at the same time, we know sometimes we be tripping. You might know somebody. It might be you. Has a gambling problem. Might need some crisis counseling or even referral services. For my New Yorkers, it's the number to text and call. But for everybody else, the number to dial is 1-800-HOPENY. 100 gambler.